Well, you didn't know Nvidia made radiators? Well, apparently they did. This is the Nvidia Gtx 480, a card famous for one thing and one thing only: running extremely hot. They even included a grill on top of the card so you could roast your eggs, sausages and whatever else you happen to put on there. This card had 480 stream processors, a core clock of 701 MHz and a memory clock of 925 MHz, and computing power of 1.345 teraflops, which is pretty impressive for the time. It was the fastest card in the world sometime around 2010. It's a pretty impressive beast. It uses the female architecture, which is again famous for running hot no matter what card it's on. So 250 watt power consumption delivered to it via an 8-pin and a 6-pin power connector. Loads of heat pipes there to keep the thing cool. And oh yeah, trust me, it needed it. The blower style fan, the heat pipes, the big heatsink slash grill on top, which I'm pretty sure was to grill your bacon and another reason. Output wise, we've got two DVIs, the mini display, mini HDMI port down there. There's no backplate on this thing, because although backplates add rigidity to cards that don't have very good cooling solutions that do that job for them, it does trap some of the heat in theory, so they didn't bother with a backplate on this, which makes it a bit more subject to damage on the back if you're not careful for handling it, or if it's being shipped from eBay, etc. This was sold as faulty, but I have tested it and it does actually work, so that's pretty nice. I'll probably regret that later, it'll probably die on me randomly. But yeah, it is all working, which is nice. So supports SLI up there, look, which is pretty intense. If you really do live in an igloo, then maybe that will heat it up a bit, though the melting could be a problem. In fact, this would probably melt iron, and if you overclocked it, that'd be pretty insane. It says the foundry here. Now, I'm not sure if this card was from a foundry, or if that's some sort of joke that the foundry maybe was trying to use this to melt the metal. Before that's maybe what they were trying to do with it, which is probably a pretty good idea, to be totally honest. So if you work at the foundry, there is a foundry in Halstead called Maycast Nukes, but that's not their logo or anything to do with them. I don't know where this came from. So yeah, pretty interesting card. I'm going to run a 3D Mark benchmark on it, 3D Mark Vantage, just to see how it did. This graphics card does support DirectX 11 and DirectX 12 to some degree, so it will run modern games, kinda. Obviously it hasn't got the compute power for a lot of modern games to run smoothly at say 4K or anything like that, but I am going to see what it can do. Pretty sure it'll run Grand Theft Auto no problem and games like that, and Need for Speed Most Wanted, all those sorts of games. But it will actually add some serious heat to your room. That is the only and use a lot of power. That's the real downside of using something like this. Your electric company will thank you, because you'll be making them a lot more money. Right, that concludes this video, part 1 of the GTX 480 graphics card. Thank you for watching.